Yeah, good. Okay, so welcome to this presentation. We're happy to share the results of our study of the experiences of game developers that work with teleportation devices. So I'm here to represent our team of Kultima, Piispanen, Sinervo, Khaled, and Morrell. And so just a kind of a background that there's been this rise of teleportation devices, as we all know. There's multiple different services and technologies that are provided these days. It's a little bit kind of hidden development scene for the rest of us, as we know that the traditional computer game development kind of didn't advance too much. It stayed as the same kind of cultural phenomenon, but then the new devices have shifted towards new paradigms. There's a lot of unique aspects of this culture of creation, but then there's also quite a lot of similar aspects as well. It's an exciting space to be at, to look at the new technologies. The leading devices are, for instance, here seen transdimensional transit system. This is used at the Montreal Space Post in May 2161. As you can see, people are very excited to use it, but it's been around for a while. There's a couple of other kind of dominant services. There's Quantum Leap Nexus, Vortex Gate 3000, and then Transdimensional Transit System. They have their own kind of dedicated user base, and people like different parts of them in different ways. So yeah, the IEEE Quantum Game Conference in 2079 had a team of quantum teleportation games. Here we can see some of the images. I'm gonna here, let's see, this is, so it's a 2076 marked as a, let me see, just a second. So it worked as a landmark. Breakthrough occurred with the realization of real-time physical displacement of objects, including living organisms, through advanced quantum teleportation techniques. This development was catalyzed by the integration of quantum error correction methods and robust entanglement distribution networks, paving the way for practical applications beyond mere data transfer. So we've been seeing a lot of these games that came out of that revolution. The study of teleportation ethics began in the early 21st century, paralleling advancements in quantum teleportation research. Philosophers, ethicists, scientists collaborated to address the moral and philosophical questions posed by the technology. Key milestones included the establishment of ethical guidelines for human trials in the 2090s, driven by the need to ensure informed consent and minimize harm. So there's a lot of things that we know, and we know that a lot of people are still not using the devices for actual real reasons, but there's a lot of brave players that actually do utilize this, and we have quite a lot of developers out there to also look at. So in our study, we were interested in the experiences of these developers. There are companies from small to large ones. We try to gather kind of a very diverse set of interviewees of the age group and genders, as well as their location. So most of the developers, of course, in Earth, as we have most of the people still habitating the Earth, but we have a couple of developers from, for instance, Europa, Enceladus, and then space between the Moon and Earth. So one of the quotations, so we had interviews and then that were conducted within one full year, and then we asked the developers to full also their devlogs. So here is one example of the interviews going like, how long have you been a teleportation game designer? 5 years, 6 maybe, although my title is Senior Playful Portal Architect now. Before that, I was a mid-tele wizard for supermassive portals for a few years, you know, before the whole company disappeared into their own gigantic flesh portal. Ouch. Yeah, nasty stuff. How did you survive something like that? Were you mid-porters? No, just a sick day. I had a cold. The four of us that survived called it the best sick day we ever had. Well, two of us now. So it's not really super safe to do the teleportation development. You have to playtest a lot. So we can see that that kind of, it's already super normalized in the practice of these developers. We have a lot of details in the actual paper, but here are the key takeaways. So we saw that there's a diverse background for the developers. They don't come from game development, all of them. So they might come also from the teleportation technology industries or other fields. But they bring their own unique perspectives to the game design. There's tons of technical challenges. For instance, there's a constant balancing between realism and playability. There needs to be like a heightened need for addressing bugs, because you know that it can be like physically dangerous if you leave the bugs in. And then you have to ensure the smooth gameplay, and these are ongoing struggles that the developers are constantly seeing. There's also creative visualization, as we know that the teleportation don't really have like a visual in it, like how to have the non-screen visual experiences. So the artist might, battle between the technical members of the group. So they have to figure out how to do the different kinds of visualization. What are the players' expectations for that? There's a personal impact also when you do this. So it's not just that you might be lost in mid-teleportation, but there's just like, even though you would survive from your playtesting, there are frequent effects to not just physical things, so your body parts might shift, or then even like if parts of the brain might be shifting, you might actually blending identities in unexpected ways. So for instance, some of the things, the kind of phenomena that you see is that you get ideas of other game designers. So it becomes a little bit difficult to see who owns the copyright for the games that you make. And then there might be also that, well, since you're playtesting the games, the kind of physical and the non-physical, the fictional and the real gets mixed. So you might even get the personalities of the game characters that you create. The regular things with team collaboration, so the strong teamwork and trust are crucial in navigating these complexities of the teleportation technology. There's tons of like supporting communities for this, and there are guidelines from there. We also thinking about ethical kind of implications of this, because there's a lot of much more than the regular gaming. There's much more of the side effects and other ethical considerations for this future technology. Altogether, that's our takeaways, and that's it. That was a short presentation, I guess. That's all. Thank you.